Good evening, everybody. Excuse me. Welcome to the live version of Encrypted Connections. I'm your host, Kyle, and tonight I'm stoked as a fan of the subject and uh, a an addict of Bigfoot YouTube videos myself. Uh, we have two of the four horsemen, the Squatch Watchers, Taylor and Tate. What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Man, good. How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm
Yeah,
good.
doing
I'm
good.
excited.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm kind of digging the four horsemen of the Bigfoot world. Like never ever since Toby has came back, we've had comments about that. And I'm
Dude,
like, dude, this is cool. Like this is us. We're the four horsemen.
it works too because you guys are from North Carolina. You know that's horseman
yeah,
territory, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's home cooking, man.
That's right. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, man. So, I'm a fan, man. First and foremost, I'm a fan before anything else.
Like,
Yeah. I think I found your channel about 2 years ago.
Okay, nice.
There's a ton of Bigfoot stuff on the
Yeah,
internet and YouTube, but it's a subject that's always captured my attention from a kid, and obviously till now. But so I would search things out, and then some things would be kind of and then
yeah,
but there were the ones that I immediately knew, like, okay, I got to subscribe, and that was you guys. I subscribed right away. I think on top of the evidence and the way you guys investigate, it was the camaraderie. Like, I
yeah,
loved it.
yeah.
I loved it.
We appreciate that.
yeah, we really
Yeah.
do, man.
Well, you guys, it seemed like, how long you known each other?
So Tate and I have known each other since T-ball, man, and
Yeah.
David. I met David literally on the first hunt 12 years ago, and then Toby kind of came in about 4 or 5 years ago. So Toby 5 years, Tate my whole life pretty much. David about 12 for me. Tate, how long have you known everyone?
I've known you since yesterday.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I've known Taylor all my life. Maybe around about 5 years, 4 or 5 years,
yeah,
and then David, I've known David since probably 2014, 2015, something like that.
yeah.
Yeah. But you couldn't tell. It seems like, if you're on the outside looking in, it's like we've known each other our whole lives, like every one of us. Like
That's what it
Yeah.
seems like.
we have a
Yeah.
connection, a bond, and we're a brotherhood. We're the Four Horsemen, as some call
Yeah.
us now.
We
I
never
love
be
it.
a stranger, man. Like,
Yeah.
If you're the four horsemen, can I be JJ Dillon? Can I be your manager?
That's
dude, heck
that's
yeah.
fine with us. That's actually
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool with me.
I'm fat and old. I fit the position, right?
well, I'm fat and old too. I don't think I'm Ric Flair. I'm the old Ric Flair.
Yeah.
um, so, yeah, you guys just have that. You can see it on screen. It just works, man. Like,
Yeah.
I would have thought you guys knew each other forever, but 12 years ago was your very first
Yeah.
hunt.
Yep. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And where was that?
It was on our primary
That same
hunt.
property?
Yeah, man. And so let me go ahead and say this, because when people go back and watch this, we call it a Bigfoot hunt, correct?
Yeah.
People hate it when we call it a Bigfoot hunt, but we do. That's what we call it, because people in North Carolina, we're Southern, and they're not going to know what an investigation is. They're going to know what a hunt is. So we call it a hunt.
Well, when you get around here, all these people locally around us are like, "What's this Bigfoot stuff you do?" And we're
Yeah.
like, "We hunt," because everybody hunts around here. Most
Yeah,
people do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, I get it. I call
Yeah,
it that too, though. You know what I
Good,
mean? Like,
cool.
if I say I'm gonna go hunt. I'm gonna go hunt
Man.
Bigfoot.
That's what we've always
Yeah.
called it.
So
Yeah.
much backlash for that sometimes, and we're just
Yeah.
like, that's just what we call it. That's why
You
we're
have to preface it like, I'm not trying to hurt the thing, right?
Yeah,
I'm just
Exactly.
Yeah.
a hunt isn't always trying to kill something.
yeah. You hunt for treasure, or do you search for? Heck, I don't know.
Yeah, it's true, right?
Yeah,
You
That's
do.
true. The newfound terminology I like for it that someone told us the other day was to call it Bigfooting, and I kind of like that. It kind of works.
Yeah,
That
we're
works.
Bigfooting.
Please don't ever say squatching.
No, we don't do that.
No, I try not.
We don't carry guns around and holler at it and try to shoot at it and all that.
We do carry some guns, but that's
we carry guns for protection from other wildlife.
Right.
Absolutely, but
well, if you're going out in the woods and you're looking for a 1,000-pound 9-foot giant, you probably have a gun on you just in case.
Yeah, exactly. You
and
never
plus
know.
the other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the biggest thing I love is like David doesn't do it as much anymore, but like, you know, when something breaks loose, we don't really recommend it, but David likes to run in after it because he's not trying to hurt or challenge it. He wants to touch one. That's all
he wants to be the first person to ever get a Bigfoot.
Yeah, and
touch a Bigfoot.
Yeah, but recently, if you know, from our last few videos, we've taken a whole different approach to how we Bigfoot or hunt, and it's paying dividends right now, and we're going that route forward, like just calm, cool, collected, chill.
I see it. I saw it.
Just let them come to us, and it's worked so far. So we're gonna keep doing it.
Besides the very end of last week's hunt, this isn't giving anything away for our next video. I think.
No, it's not.
The camera dies, man. The camera dies, and we're walking back to base camp to get in our cars and head home. And dude, all of a sudden you hear kapow! Something crashes through the woods. David takes off after it, but the camera's dead. And then Tate's like, yes, we got it on our audio recorder we have set up here. Tate thought that the red flashing light meant it was recording, but the red flashing light means pause and no solid.
Well, see, we didn't figure it out until that moment. And I was like, it's flashing. But then Taylor's like, yeah, but there's no like timestamps or anything rolling. I was like, oh,
it was a bummer. It was a bummer.
And then we retest it, and you have to hit the record button twice. It flashes. Then when you hit it the second time, it goes solid red. I'm like, everything I've ever seen or known in tech, the red light's flashing if it's on.
Yeah. That's what I would have assumed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, it's funny that you mentioned this about Dave, because I was going to bring that up. That guy's got some steel nuggets.
Yeah.
Like watching him like just rush. I remember one video, I don't know which one it was, but you were like, it's over here, and just he went without a thought. Like he was like Carl Lewis, boom, gone into that bush line, and I'm like, does he even know if there's a ledge there?
Well, he's got lucky about 3 times of not falling off the side of a cliff. Luckily, there were some down trees one time, and then on the new side of property, it's an abandoned asphalt plant. As soon as you walk in, that is directly runs parallel with our primary hunt spots. We've got that new land opened up, and dude, there's a legit 15-foot drop off right on the concrete with a thing in there, and we went running. We all went running to it the night before, but we all just kind of stopped, and we went back the next day like looking for what we heard, and we was like, holy crap, there's a ledge right here. Then he's almost fell in from a creek bank that on that new side of property. So he ain't too much doing it as much anymore.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I mean, I want to see one as much as anybody, but I don't know that I'd ever run towards one. I mean, maybe try to slowly sneak up, but I don't know about running full bore, man. That's scary.
He doesn't do it as much anymore, but
no.
Back in the day, anytime he would jump, he would run every single time.
Crazy, man. I love it. I'm sorry, I forgot to turn the comments on like a dummy.
Oh, you're
I'm
good.
Still new. See, I'm still new.
Hey, you're good, dude.
Hey, we still figure stuff out every day that we don't know. We're like, oh wow, we can do that.
Totally forgot. Now there's 30 comments. I just missed all of them.
Oh,
I'm sorry, guys. Hello. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry. I'll go back through. And just like we always do, and if you got a question, put it in caps, please. That way I know it's a question that we can ask these guys later on when we got time. I wanted to say something real quick before we really get going here. I forgot to say in the beginning. You guys know Donnie Miller?
Donnie Miller.
You know who he is? He was on Kerry's show a few times.
Okay. So
Kerry did an Odyssey. They were filming the Odyssey when Kerry passed.
Okay.
Donnie's a good friend.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful. I mean, he is. Him and Kerry cut from the same cloth. They're just wonderful human beings, right? So Donnie lives in Florida.
Okay.
He has it's called Standing Goats Rescue. And it's a goat rescue, but it's also, they have, all kinds of animals there, but he's got like 90 goats or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And man, let me tell you something. You've never seen a goat like this goat Louie that he has. I don't know. Maybe you have. You guys are from North Carolina. Maybe you have, but I never had. I'm a Yankee. I'd never seen a 240-pound goat in my life.
I've never seen that.
Bro. And not only that, it's 240 pounds. He carries his weight very well, so he doesn't look like he's, overweight. He's tall. I mean, he's tall. He like standing on the ground. I don't know. His head came up to like Donnie's chest or stomach. He's so big, but he's like a puppy. Donnie's like, dude, he acts like a dog. He'll kiss you. He wants to cuddle. He rests his head on you. And he did. Donnie walked up to the thing.
Oh.
He was standing on top of one of the platforms or whatever. He walked right over Donnie, just put his head right here and just started falling asleep. I'm like, what kind of goat is this, man?
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that.
It's cool. It's cool. He's got some other cool ones too. But so Donnie's in Florida, and obviously that hurricane's headed that way.
Yeah, prayers for everybody in Florida right now.
Yes, everybody down there. So we wanted to send any good energy and prayers or anything down that way. We hope everybody gets out of there safe, and I'm hoping this thing just dies down, man. I mean, how many times do people got to get hit with these stupid hurricanes? Like,
I know.
Enough's enough.
It's a bad situation.
But yeah. So Donnie, I think, joined in after. So Carrie, me and him, like our friendship grew like as soon as they started that channel. And whenever they were actually going and doing those field investigations over more of the what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And me and him we just hit it off, dude. He commented on one of our videos and told me to get in touch with him. And dude, he sent us our FLIR camera that we use, and we still use it. Yeah. So he sent us this camera right here this one of our GoPros that we use to like strap on. So dude, I'll always keep these now. Like they'll never go anywhere. And like I really want me and Tate to come up with a name for the FLIR whenever we plug it in, man, and like call it like the Odyssey or bring out the Carry.
Let's just call it the Carry.
Yeah. So,
man.
Like, but yeah, dude, like I get goosebumps talking about it. Like me and him would text. Like we didn't keep up as much because we both got busy with our channels. But like, dude, he was the first guy to ever give the Squatch Watchers a chance and have us on his show and showed us how to like tag videos and title them. And dude, he was a one of a kind guy.
He was really like our mentor. Yeah, he was really So
100%.
Like, when I saw you post this the other day, I was like, dude, he's a friend with Carrie and he's just starting. I was like, something just put it on me. Is like, man, reach out to him, just tell him like if he has any questions. And that's why I did that, dude, because
I greatly appreciate it, man.
He was always there for us. He was only a phone call away, man, and he's gonna be truly missed. Like I wish we could have talked to him a lot more. Like we would always drop into his lives and he would like call us out and like, hey guys, and he'd always want to get down here, but was always just too busy. And that's how like now it's like definitely don't let life
is short, man.
Yeah.
Life is absolutely short.
But yeah, dude, he gave us like if you watch any of our first couple of starting hunt videos, like we always mentioned him. Thank you, Carrie and Linda. Thank y'all so much for sending us the cameras. And they went live with us and did like a fundraiser when we first started, and all the money that they saved up, that's what they bought that camera with, and then the FLIR and everything. So dude, he's a one of a kind.
I remember when I've watched Carrie from the very first Odyssey documentary that they made, right? Yeah. And it was the one, I believe it was the one in Mississippi with the younger kid. And he ended up starting his YouTube channel. I forget his name. I feel bad, but I think that was the first one, I believe. But anyway, I watched all of them. And I remember him talking about you guys, like by name and mentioning you and all that stuff and telling people to go watch. Like,
dude, I went back and tried to find the video where we all were live doing that fundraiser the other day, and it's not on there anymore. They must have locked it like how we do some videos because it don't fit their storyline now. But I was like, man, I wanted that to like screenshot and just record it, but I've still got like a voicemail on my phone from him and stuff like that. But it's just like, I don't want to, But he'll definitely be missed. But when I first saw that, I was like, oh, it must be their anniversary because somebody posted a picture. And I kept scrolling because I was in class, and I was like, I saw another one. I was like, dang, he must have got a TV show. Kept scrolling. I wasn't reading. I just kept seeing Carrie pop up on my screen. And I finally stopped and read one. I was like, holy crap, he's gone. Okay, now it's like, but But yeah, man, and I texted the guys, and so yeah, so that channel will always be dear to our heart, and we'll try to help promote, still keep promoting them. I don't know what they're going to actually do now, if they're going to keep it going or.
I know. I was wondering the same thing. I know because even before he passed, Daniela and Brad were having issues. Daniela was in the hospital. Daniela, if you're listening, watching by chance, Brad, we hope you guys are getting better. Linda too. Also, prayers and love. Like, it's been a tough go. Listen, here, this is the crazy thing. Okay, so I only reached out to Kerry because I had no intention of doing any show.
Yeah,
I didn't. There was none. But after watching him for so long, you couldn't help but feel this like people were just drawn to this guy. Like he just had that thing, this innate, like it just drew you in and like
his
made
voice.
you. Yeah. His voice, his demeanor, like his honesty, his humility, all that. And so he was having issues because they weren't there. And he had mentioned on a show, if anybody wants to help with the show because they're down and out, shoot me an email. And so I just shot him an email. I said, listen, I don't have any, I don't want to be on the air, but if you need someone to screen a call or I don't know what I could do, but if there's something. And then we started talking. And of course, in Kerry's wonderful way that he knows, he doesn't even know he's doing it, but he breaks down those barriers where you just feel comfortable and safe. And next thing you know, you're spilling your guts.
Oh yeah.
But he was so kind and so generous. And same thing, he called me. I left my phone number, I left my email, I left my Facebook, just so he had options, you know what I mean? And he called, and I didn't know the number, so I didn't answer. And then I get a text message, and he says, "Hey brother, it's Kerry. You're ignoring my call." And he was funny too, by the way. He was funny.
Oh yeah.
And so we talked, and I picked his brain, man. Let me pick his brain, and it was about the way that they research things and this, starting a channel, he just was he had no free time. I don't know how he had any.
Yeah.
But he gave it so freely to anybody that asked, man.
Yep.
Anybody. And I was shocked.
Yep. Same.
Just shocked. I felt like I was talking to Long Island Bigfoot. I don't know if you know him, Mike. He's a great guy, by the way. If you don't know him, he's just a wonderful dude. Mike, I hope you're watching. I was talking to him, and he'd said, when he found out, the feeling that he had was he wanted to pick up the phone and call and go, Kerry, you're not going to believe the crap that is going on right now, right? It just seems so fake.
Yeah, it did.
It didn't seem real, man.
Yep. It was wild, dude.
It's a shame. It's a shame. But I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad you guys.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys got to know him. And man, again, you hear that from so many people that he did so much for everybody. You're giving them stuff. And
how did he know all these? How did he call all these?
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's how was there enough time in the day? Because he was his job was so busy, and he was always working down there. And that's where he would call me most whenever we were talking a lot and on his car rides and stuff like that. And but yeah, dude, it's how the heck did he have time? But I was telling Tate this the other day. I was like, why his name grew so much? Because he went and he helped everybody that's just starting out. And he did. He never got too big for it. And that's something I want the Squatch Watchers to live by. And that's why at these cons that we go to now, and we don't care if we're standing out there and I know the Squatch Watchers were not huge yet, but at the Tennessee one, we had lines nonstop at our table. And dude, we talked every
it was a blessing.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
We give away.
Want to give us their time. Yeah.
If they're there to see us, and it blew our mind because all these people were there to see us now. And it's dang, this is crazy. And we didn't know that 20-some thousand people would 500 of them would show up to East Tennessee, and we're like, holy crap, this is it. But dude, that's we got it from him, and this Tate and I can speak for us because we're in here, and I know Toby too, and I know David. if there's 1,000 people and it's pouring down the rain, that's just our demeanor. We're gonna stand there and meet every one of them. We're gonna talk Bigfoot, and it ain't even the meeting, getting pictures. We love hearing everyone's stories. And I guess that's kind of like Kerry. He would sit and listen to anyone's Bigfoot story.
Anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Well, that's all most people want, just to be heard. Just hear them out. And for us, that's the biggest thing. We want to be the same guys that you see on camera, off the camera, behind the camera. And like Kerry, he gave back. He gave back to us, and that was a big deal to us when we first started. And
that's why he grew so big.
It's like Taylor said. We know we're not the biggest, hottest Bigfoot YouTube channel on the page or the internet, but we hope to be someday. But if not, that's okay too. We enjoy what we do. We love what we do, and we love everybody who supports us and everybody we're friends with that we make for this whole process. But at the same time, we're going to give back like Kerry did, because he gave back to us, and we're going to give back to anyone we can, if big or small or in between. Like, we're going to give back every time we can.
Yeah.
Yes. See, and we talk about this. We talk to people in the comments here who subscribe to the channel, who watch these videos. First of all, I said it from day one when I made the first video. When 2 people saw it, I was humbled. I just, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm sure you know the feeling, right?
Oh man, we were talking the other day. We were giving away stuff at 50 subscribers. We were like, "Come on, this is awesome, dude! We got 20 views in 2 hours. This is cool." And it's like, dude, it means the world to you. Yeah, we know exactly.
Well, see, man, Taylor and I started the YouTube channel in his old house in one of his bedrooms. Just threw up a camera, sat in 2 chairs, and talked Bigfoot. And we were excited to get 10 views. And then, like he said, when we got to 50 subscribers, 100 subscribers, we thought we were just like downtown.
Yeah.
It makes you And now you look back, it's like, wow, it's cool. It's cool to have all those milestones. And we have milestones ahead of us that we're, Lord willing, trying to get to if we live long enough and we're successful enough. And that's what keeps you going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And and the other thing too, not that I was shocked, right? I wasn't shocked, but you hear a lot in this community, or you see it, depending on who you're watching and what's going on. There are a lot of people who bicker and backstab.
Dear God,
there are a lot.
This is one of the worst genres or fields to be in for that, man. Like it's
this community, the community it's a small community within a community, and it's comprised of just the greatest people. Man, the best, and they all have the same intentions. Where you want to give back, you want to help, you want to answer questions to people, you want to make sure that the subscribers know that you're listening and you're there and you care, and every comment means so much and all that stuff. And this is what I've seen so far. It's just amazing. Just amazing.
Yeah.
So
I want to say something, but man,
I know what you're going.
What? Say it. What are you going to say? Say something.
So once you get to, I don't know if Kerry ever told you this, but Kerry, I know. So there's 3, and now we're friends with everyone. This is not bashing anyone, but there was 3 groups that I can tell you that no matter what, they don't let the fame and the subscribers and we're always friendly, and they're always the greatest dudes no matter what. One is no longer with us, and y'all know who that is. That's Kerry.
Yep.
The other one's Wes with Sasquatch Chronicles.
I haven't met Wes yet, but I'd love to. The guy seems so awesome.
Wes is the man. Awesome.
So awesome.
Yeah, and we've got people that can speak for us, and I'm sure you're one of us now, and
thank you. I hope to be that's the goal, right?
Yeah,
to help and
Yeah, and I'm not tooting our horn, but the Squatch Watchers, we're not those type of guys that every time you see us, hey man, we're getting a TV show. You know that, man? We man, we're getting a TV show. The ones that don't talk about it are the ones that are really getting it, and we're not. Man, look at my poster, man. It's got everything I've ever been on right here. You know what ours has on it? Squatch Watchers, our name, and the YouTube channel.
Yep.
I'm not bashing anyone or anything, but people are in it for the wrong reasons. No one cares that you were on this or that and this. This is a Bigfoot community, man. Like, we want the Squatch Watchers. We want Bigfoot Odyssey. We want Sasquatch Chronicles. And Wes has taught me a lot about that. And Carrie sure taught me a lot about that. And it's like, don't ever forget what started you. Like, like, don't get me wrong. Tate and I have had the opportunities, and we've got one burning right now, but we don't ever talk about it like everyone else. And
we're about to turn it down. We're about to walk away from it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't fit our needs. It's not beneficial. Yeah, it's no good.
It doesn't fit it.
And Kerry did the same thing.
Yeah, and our YouTube speaks for itself also. If we go post a paranormal video on our YouTube, our Bigfoot fans do not like that. And that's that. So I know I just went down a totally weird, random rabbit hole, but
no.
Stay the course and stay Bigfoot. And stay in it for just going to do your cons and coming home, being with your family. And but we figured that out. And if this thing don't go right, what me and Tate are talking about right now, it ain't no big deal to us, because we've got the Squatch Watcher family. We've got you now. Right. We've got Sasquatch Chronicles helping us. I mean, dude, there's people out there that are good people. And there's 2 other guys that are really close to Tate and I, but don't know if we can mention them by name because contract situations or whatever.
Sure. I get it. You know, I'm always drawn to obviously to people who are of that ilk, like Kerry and Donnie, and, you know, like you guys, and you mentioned Wes. I haven't had the pleasure of talking to Wes. I really would love to. If I'm a small channel, I doubt he's watching, but if for some reason you're watching, brother, I would love to talk to you.
Dude, just shoot him a message. That's all. Just shoot him a message and tell him who you are.
Well, then I'll shoot him one. I definitely will.
We're pretty close.
Yeah.
And they were like that behind the scenes close, kind of how me and Carrie were. And
all right.
Tell you, man, if you just shoot him a message, tell him who you are.
He's doing such great work, man. What he's doing for people, again, he's giving people a place to purge this stuff that people don't want to share. Yeah. But weighs so heavily. He's doing great work. He's helping, but you're drawn to that. I'm drawn to that, right? And at the same time, though, the flip side is tough, because in order to keep a show like this going, you have to open up to everybody, right? You have to, and listen, I give everybody a chance. I won't ever make judgment until I know you personally. I can hear whatever, but until you and me converse, then I'll make my judgment. I won't go by what the masses say. I'm my own man. I'll figure it out. But I've been very lucky so far. Very lucky, and I'm grateful for that. Anyway, we miss Kerry. We miss Kerry a lot.
Rest in peace, Kerry.
Rest in peace, Kerry. So listen, let's get back to Bigfoot.
Heck yeah.
And you guys, what sparked your interest?
Tate, you go first. I always go first on this one.
I was always interested in it as a kid. I knew something was out there. I used to look at the Patterson Gimel, picture footage wherever, and just be like, wow, that's actually in the woods. And then what really sparked my interest to get out and start, boots on the ground investigating was when Taylor was going to our now primary investigation hunt site with David and our good producer from the local TV station and the landowner. They were doing a local TV show on his local station that he run. And Taylor would come home and call me every Friday night and tell me about all this crazy stuff that happened, locking themselves in cars, stuff screaming and growling at them, breaking trees, throwing mud balls, potatoes, whatnot. And then I just finally said, I believe, and I've always believed, but I didn't think it'd be right here in my backyard. And so I was like, I gotta go check this out. So I went the first night with Taylor, David, I believe Toby was there. It might have been our old member Derek. It was one of the two.
I can't remember.
But I went on that first hunt, and we had rocks thrown back at us on the trail, just hitting trees and the ground around us. And I was like, all right, this is here. And then after that, Taylor approached me about he's like, well, we do a YouTube. And we're like, all right, let's do a YouTube. And then here we are.
Yeah. So we've
I watched your first videos,
Yeah. Oh man, those are
in the room.
Yeah.
With the quick edit, right?
Yeah.
But everyone's got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
And
our editing now is just simple. Like, I mean, Tate's went an extra step than I did. So from about this year, from now, Tate's doing all that editing. And
really,
yeah. So he's doing good. Like, dude, we use a simple editing now. If we went to Adobe, that'd put us over top.
Dude, I can't even. That stuff is so confusing to me.
Yeah, we have a friend that does it with us when we do like a collaboration on the paranormal side. And
okay.
He there's actually one on our channel that's uploaded, and he shot and edited that one, and it's different. I'm on the fence about that because I want to make the best content, quality we can for our viewers, but at the same time, it's like we are in like this touchy subject where so much
if you go to Hollywood, they're going to think you're Hollywood.
Some of it can be, so much of it can be fake, or so many people can be skeptical of it, and I'm like, if we get too fancy and flashy with our editing, is that going to diminish the actual core of what we're about, and that's research and finding evidence, legitimate evidence?
Yeah. I get it because people start to think like, oh, what did you tweaking that or tweaking this? So, no, go ahead. What were we going to say?
No, go ahead. I mean, I was just going to say that's how I pretty much started like Tate. By the way, Don, I love Point Break. I love Patrick.
Great movie.
Comment down here. Yeah,
great movie. I
like Keanu Reeves. I love Point Break, but I think that's the coolest character Patrick Swayze's ever played in that movie. Like, he played the bad guy for once. But
Bodie.
So I started off as a kid. My mom would tell me stories. My family would always tell me Bigfoot stories, and then kind of grew out of it. Got invited to Rex's because I knew that they were filming that local show because they found a big print on a property and it struck Rex, our guy, and the landowner. We call him our land producer because he produces the land for us. And
super great guy.
Yeah, super great guy.
He's a great guy.
He was not allowed any paranormal on his property now because he's
there's a reason behind it. Like it's so intense.
So I started and they all told me like, dude, make sure when you come wear camouflage. I'm like, camouflage? I was like, okay, cool. So I go out and I'm like, heck yeah, this is gonna be cool. Like I hadn't done Bigfoot in like 10 years because I grew out of those stories my parents was telling me. Like I didn't even believe in the Patterson Gilmore footage. I was like, that ain't nothing. That's just a dude in a suit. But now that I look at it, I'm like, okay, it could be. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I go back and dude, I show up. I'm the only one in camouflage. Everybody else is in normal clothes. I was like, okay. So they pick on the new guy. I'm sitting here like looking like an idiot in full camouflage, and everybody else is there. And so I see David
dressed like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, David's dressed like Indiana Jones, legit with the khaki on khaki.
Man.
So. Dude, he lets out a call. A donkey goes crazy. Something calls back. He lets out a call. Something calls back. The donkey goes crazy and all these animals go crazy. I'm like, what the heck was that? So I was like, cool. So I come back. I leave. I come back on the next hunt. They're like, hey, man, why don't you try your first wood knock? I was like, okay. And, dude, so Rex has got all this old footage. I'd love to get it because I'm like Tate size then. Like he's real skinny, and I was like fresh out of high school, man. And like you see my little skinny self over there and just whoop hop. I'm on the second freaking hit. Here comes a rock flying in behind us. Like I was like, it's either poltergeist or Bigfoot on this property. And we've had sightings, and me and my wife she's pure skeptic. She had her sighting, and so dude, after that it was all history. I've been addicted for 12 years now, and like. When people will laugh at us sometimes. Like we've told people, we've been doing this for 12 years. Like we did an interview the other day. We've been doing this for 12 years. And you heard somebody go, but they don't realize like we've been doing this for 12 years, but there was a time for about 5 years, 6 years straight where we were in the woods at least 3 nights a week. So you got to add in all that time. And I know people that's been in it for 40 years and ain't been out in the woods as much as us in 12 years. You know what I'm saying? Like they might go twice a year Bigfooting and say they've been it, but we've done it for 12 years and we still do it weekly. Like we'll go sometimes 2 nights a week, nothing will happen. Sometimes we'll go weeks in a row, nothing will happen. And luckily, we've got some archive videos now.
Yeah.
And dude, it's bit. I've got that bug, and you can spend a lot of money in Bigfoot, and you can just so addicted to it, and you just love it. Yeah, man, the rest is history, dude. Like, we buy our equipment, we love it. We love it.
You're going to spend money on Bigfoot, but you're going to spend a whole lot more time on Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Real quick, I want to speak for Toby. I've always loved Toby's philosophy about this, and this is why I think him coming back has changed the game for us again.
Yeah.
He's always told, I'm pretty sure he's probably told all of us, but we had a conversation, and this was years ago now.
Toby is our character.
It really stuck with me, though. It was a really profound, like, statement or philosophy or approach to how we do it. And, he was like, he was telling me, like, we was walking on trail now. He's like, I want to get to the point where, we have a relationship or, like, some kind of mutual friendship with these creatures out here. And almost to the point where, even if we got cut off cameras, they walk up to us and try to interact. Like, he was like, he wants to get that to that level with them. And I believe we can, especially now we're starting to, like, sit more and be quiet and just kind of chill, and they're coming around us. I think that's a good approach. And I just always like that philosophy from Toby. It's like, maybe we can become friends or almost like family to them, and they'll just come out and, interact with us.
And I know that sounds crazy, but
no, it doesn't. Why is it? It doesn't sound crazy. No, that's the thing about this, right? To me, there's nothing crazy because no one knows anything. Everything is theory, hypothesis. Outside of, like, if people having sightings, right, or you finding tracks or whatever. Even the tracks, like, we don't know unless you caught the creature stepping there and took a picture of it doing it. And
I'm so glad you said that.
And people will scrutinize that too. But I mean, I don't think anything's crazy. Nothing's out of bounds because we don't know. And there's so many legends, and they start somewhere, right? They have to. Every legend starts somewhere. There's Native Americans been here longer than anybody.
Yep.
They've had relationships with these creatures, from what they say, where they share things, right? So why is it crazy that you guys couldn't? I mean, to me, it's logical. They're so interested in what's going on. They've come to places where you would never think they'd be. I mean, they're in suburbia. They're right by your park. They're right by your church. They're everywhere, and there's a reason for that. Obviously, we've moved into places, but they have plenty of places to hide still. So why are they going there?
Gosh,
It's because they want to know. They want to know what's going on. Like, what are we doing? What are these people? And they're probably just as interested as we are.
Yep.
There's one thing about us that I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm sure there's somebody else out there that does it, but when you look at any show on TV or YouTube or anywhere on the internet, any Bigfoot researcher or group, I can't think of one besides us that just we have one spot that we just go and research. And some people like scrunch their eyebrows at us, like, why are you doing that? Or like, it's a waste of time or whatever. But it's like, you're not going, like, on these shows, these people go to the location once. And they may have the best tech in the world. They sweep the place, maybe find something or don't find anything. But it's like, you went there one time. That's not that. I mean, if you buy a lottery ticket one time in your lifetime, are you going to win the lottery?
Right.
No, you're not. So it's like you have to keep hitting the same thing, same spot over and over and over. And I don't know of another place in the country that has as much activity as we do, because, dude, we literally there's something that happens every time that we either can't explain or we could pass as like, this is evidence. And that's why we keep hitting the same spot over and over and over.
Yep. Yeah.
I used to think this when I would watch a lot of these things, like the TV shows especially, right? Because they would go to one place and then they'd leave. They'd go to a new place and then they'd leave. And it's like you said, the lottery. You have more of a chance of winning if you continue to play
the same
over and over. So it made sense to me that you would take a place where there was stuff going on, and you would continue to go there.
Yeah.
Again, goes right to the getting them comfortable with you.
Yep.
Hey, I got to interrupt real quick, Taylor. You need to talk about this though. XOXO RGC just put, I like that they bring their spouses. Not many women in the field. please elaborate on that.
What do you mean?
Well, like she's talking about how they're talking about how they like how we bring Hillary and Paige out with us now.
Yeah,
and I was telling him, I was like, man, I like that look better for us. And then,
so
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there was just somebody that posted a comment the other day saying like, why do y'all bring your extra long hair baggage on your hunts now? And I mean, we've had incredible evidence doing it, and we're going to continue doing it. I mean, until it doesn't work anymore, and until they start getting really just endangered or really dangerous because of certain times a month, and different hormones and
sure
things can get really crazy. It's happened before. David's brought someone and that time, and there's been a tree pushed over in a trail, and then they get up here and another tree's blocking the trail, and I mean it's been it's been wild, but it's like they can do this, but when are you going to show us? Like, we want to see you. Like my wife, pure skeptic, and I'll get into that story in a little bit, but like Tate was saying, like, we hunt the same property nonstop, and to us, like, and I said this comment the other day on a podcast or something, and I can't remember where I said it, but Skinwalker Ranch, it's so popular because everyone goes there to hunt that same location nonstop. And I think, honestly, like, this property that we're on, man, and this is no lie, we've got video evidence. We posted it. Like, we've had what we think is not saying it's aliens, but we've had what we know of, what we call an unidentified flying object. We're not saying it's an alien UFO, but we've had that hover right above the trees above us. We've had paranormal, no doubt. Like, and if it's not Bigfoot throwing those rocks, it's got to be poltergeist. I mean, this is all on the same property. We see the lights, we see this, and it's like, do we have our own version of that now? And it's like, I mean, come on now. So that's why we stay in our own property.
Yeah, why go somewhere else? You got everything you need there, right?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, what is your thoughts on that? What is your opinion on the connection between Bigfoot and UFOs? Some people say that there's a UFO sighting and then there's a Bigfoot sighting at the same time or same place, or
Well, in that one video that Taylor was referring to, we take a picture in front of a tree X, and then we're looking back at the picture, just randomly decide to look back at it and see how we look. Look at our hair. No, but like, we look back and there's two green balls in the middle of the woods on the ridge. It looks like eye shine. And right after that, we point that out. Here you see an unidentified object hovering, floating.
But you could hear it. Like, people say they're silent, but you could hear this one, and it was huge. It wasn't a drone.
And there's no flashers on it like normal aircraft. It's just a big triangle of light, and it's just going above the tree line all the way across the river.
Did it hum? Is that the sound?
It was it was more of like a type sound. It was just weird. It was just, I don't know, dude.
But here's the thing about it. You didn't hear it coming until you saw it.
Yeah.
And when you didn't see it again, you didn't hear it.
Yeah.
So weird, man. So weird.
But we could probably sit here for the next day and tell you our newfound theories about all the people we've talked to and some of the stuff we've actually experienced on the property now. We believe it's a triangle. It's Bigfoot, paranormal, and alien. I think they're all
connected in some way.
Yeah. And we have a biblical theory too that David talked about at these cons, but it's all tied together somehow, some way. We just don't know exactly how yet, and that's why we're out there trying to figure it out.
And there's no experts, like you said a while ago. There's no experts in this field. You can say you are, but until there's one on a silver platter, come on now, there's nobody. And dude, we get eye rollers whenever we give this theory. But so we're a Christian-based group. We go about it that way. We always have, and there's like you said, there's no right or wrong way. We don't think of to what Bigfoot is. If you'd have asked me, like Tate said the other day, if you'd have asked me 2 years ago, flesh and blood, no matter what, this thing is an 8. But after we see these lots, and then my wife, pure skeptic, always used to tell me, "Hey, why do you go on these hunts? You're crazy." I was like, "Well, come with me one night." She came, she saw the green lights flashing. She was like, "Taylor, what's that?" I'm cutting this story really short. I'm like, nothing. I looked at David. David looks at me and he says, "Hold on." And she said, "Oh, there it is again." I was like, "Okay, Paige, be ready." And then after that, the stuff started moving around us. She had a stick thrown and hit her in the leg, all on video. And I was like, there you go. And she's like, what is that? I was like, I don't know. So fast forward a couple months, D'Angelo and Gary come. We find a print.
Awesome episode.
Yeah, we find that print, dude. We didn't even want to go down there, Tate, David, and myself, because we knew the hike going down. And D was like, no, we're already out here. So let's go ahead and commit. I was like, all right. We get down there, we find a print. So glad that Skeptic D'Angelo really wanted to go down there, because that made one of our best episodes ever.
We would have found it. We never found it.
But a couple days later, Paige, still skeptic, she don't believe in those lots, said David's out in the woods. We go up there, and I'm like, here, David, take my gun, at least. Take my gun just to protect yourself from coyotes or cougars or whatever.
Oh, no, what happened?
He might have got a phone call.
Oh, okay.
But I'll finish that story for him real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So they leave David down there, and then him and Paige are leaving, and they're in his car, and they're driving down the entrance where we come in at the main highway to go out to the main road. There he is.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're back. You're
okay,
at the road.
We get out to the main road, and my wife's like, I really feel bad about leaving David out there. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, because you got idiots like this dude right here. And sure as crap, dude, something solid black. And I actually saw the picture that Bigfoot, not Bigfoot Odyssey, Sasquatch Chronicles posted the other day of what, it didn't have the traditional cone head. It was like a rounded head, and it had these white eyes, like these big white eyes. Dude, solid black. 1, 2, 3, cleared the road and was going. She was like, what was that? I was like, that's what we see. That's what it is. And dude, it was on its way to David. So I called David, dude, there's something on its way. And she's been a believer ever since. Hooked. She didn't think that was Bigfoot, but she was like, so that ties together those lots and whatever that is. I'm like, we don't know. I mean, we don't know.
And this is why I say, like, the channel is predominantly leaned towards Bigfoot, but I'm open to whatever. If you think you've seen Dogman, if you think you've seen a puckwudgie, if you think you've had a ghostly encounter, whatever, because we don't know about any of these things. So like you said, they could be tied together. How are we going to learn unless we open up to the possibility of all of it?
Yes.
What I wanted to ask you, actually, and I missed the comments gone. Somebody asked, so we can get into this, because we were going to talk about this. Ready? Here you go. The lady that had the stone thrown at her face, is she okay?
She's okay.
You guys want to talk about that night?
Yeah, I'll talk about it.
We hate to laugh, but yeah, she's okay.
I laugh because, like, Tate sent me a video of the editing that he did, and Toby and David were down filming their.
Oh my gosh!
They were just running the recorder, just seeing if they could get anything. And Tate and I stayed up there with my wife and David's fiance Hillary. And dude, so I go up there and I'm standing like this, and they're looking at me, and I was just looking at them. I was like, because we heard a couple things breaking smack through the woods, and Tate was standing there trying to look down at David and him, and I'm standing here in front of Hillary and Paige. Like, if you look at the golf cart, I'm blocking them. So I'm just standing there, and dude, all of a sudden she goes, beep, beep. I don't know if I don't want to cuss on your channel or whatever.
Like, ow!
Yeah, and she goes, what the? I mean, somebody, Tate or Taylor, did y'all just throw a rock and hit me in the eye? I'm literally standing here in front of you. And if you listen to the edit, you can hear us up there like arguing, bickering back and forth with each other. And you hear David like, they're up there arguing about something.
Yeah, David and Toby went a little down the trail with the recorder just to get in a quiet spot, see if they could pick up anything, because there's a few hot spots on one of the trails.
Yeah,
we have major activity, and one of the hot spots he was going to is where he fell out that one time. He wanted to show Toby because Toby hadn't been there. He's wanting to catch him up on that and tell him the whole story behind it. And they just had the recorder to see if they catch Bigfoot or anything on it. Well, I told Taylor, I sent to him, like, dude, I literally just horse slapped and almost fell on the floor because, like, Toby had the camera on David, and you just hear her in the background hollering expletive language and all this stuff. And David's talking, he stops mid-sentence. He's got this, like, curious face to it. And he's like, I'm trying to hear. I think they're having activity. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, David. And he's like, oh, we got to go. And he runs. I just thought it was so funny the way that he stopped talking. He's like, what's going on?
I watched that, man. It was, and I could hear it. I'm listening, going, what are they saying out there? Like, what's going on?
Dude, see,
and you
that's
can hear
why,
the rock
that's
bounce
why.
off the cart. And I was trying to get up there and I'm trying to debunk it. Like, is there anything that fell out of the tree? There's no acorns. David starts looking. There's no acorns. There's no little limb. Now, all that's around us is rocks. And so we kind of dismissed it. And I always look like as soon as something happens. And you did see like a little bit of trees like moving, but like you didn't hear anything. I didn't hear the rock coming like normal, nothing. And all you just hear is just her start screaming. And then her eye was really watering.
Dude, when it happened, I was like, the first thing I thought about when she finally said it was her eye, I was like, oh my God, like her eye's going to be hanging over her head, or like she's blind. I was like, oh my God. And then finally, when we got the light on and stuff and look, it was just watering and a little red. And she said it didn't really, it hit her eye, but it's like right here at the nose bridge, like kind of in between. It hit her right there.
I hate to laugh, but I was just like, oh
I do. I mean, God, I don't want that to happen to anybody. It's terrible, but like the way it happened, just like, wow.
And an old video, like there was a time where a dirt clod like threw. I wasn't on that hunt, and it busted on the side of the cart and went all over David's face, and he was like, "Who threw that?" And it's just funny because it happened to him and his now fiance. I was like, well,
But see, that's the same night where we done the sitting video. That's the same part. And, that happened after Hillary got hit. So, like, Taylor's talking about trying to debunk and just reason and look around, see if it was legitimate or not. It's like after that, we sat down and they started throwing rocks at us in the trail.
Yeah.
They weren't hitting us, but they were landing in front of us and behind us.
Dude, people don't believe us, but I'm telling you, we've invited skeptics out, and they've witnessed this themselves. Like D'Angelo.
Gary's the biggest skeptic in the world, bro, and he came out.
Yeah. Like Gary Barnage, dude, pure skeptic.
I know. He was like, I don't believe, man.
He don't believe in anything. And when I say anything,
big old boy.
Yeah, he does not believe in anything. And he had a rock throwing contest on one of our first hunts they ever came on, and he was throwing it down in the woods, and whatever it was tossing it right back over his head. And him and Toby were the two witnessing this. And Toby and Gary's like, "What is that?" He's still in denial. He's like, "Oh, it could just be tree limbs falling, coming at you, going by your head."
Yeah. With a trajectory.
The funny part is, like, he'll dismiss everything. He's skeptic. He wants to believe, but he's still skeptic. But yet he wants to always come back for more. Something happens. Yeah. He's like, he always comes back for more. Like we're trying to plan another one soon because like we're back and forth doing some other things, and he's wanting to come back again. And I'm not going to get in detail with it because it's kind of like in the works and whatever. But like we done something else a while back, and something happened to me, and Gary kept trying to dismiss it, and Taylor just went off. And it's the funniest like exchange. They're just going back and forth arguing, and Taylor just flips a switch on him. It's so funny,
dude. And
here you go. How does he not believe after seeing the print?
You don't exactly. And he's the one. Him and Dee are the ones that wanted to go.
But I'll tell you what about that though. At first he tried to, as you see in the video, he tried taking his sock and shoe off.
And his 300
trying to replicate any type of print close to that. And when he figured out that thing was like 5 times his size, he got quiet. You didn't hear much out of him the whole time. He's like, I don't know.
You ain't the biggest thing in the woods there, brother.
He tried to dig his foot in the ground. He tried to put his weight on it. He could not do it. He just couldn't do it. And if for some reason someone went down there and somehow found our print and fake those, please come forth and show us how you did it, because you are one strong person and you need to enter a tough man contest.
There's no way to get down there unless you go through the trail, the entrance from the property. There's no way to get down there. There's a river in front of it, and then it's just
to God. Yeah,
it don't look like a fun place to go stomping your bare feet either.
No. Yeah, no. Well, that's another thing. Taylor can attest to this because he experienced it more than I did. There was times in the old days where it'd be the dead of winter, the coldest night you can think of, and you see baby-size bare feet prints in the ground.
So awesome.
And you're like, But now what's crazy is we have the cast that Toby's son Ty found, and it's a little baby. We found it like 4 years ago. But I'm telling you, if you put that cast beside the one that we found with Dee and Gary, I think it grew up. I'm telling you, I think it grew up in the same one. It's got to be, because I mean, dude, they look like, people are like, oh, the toes are too perfect or this. What the heck do you know? Like, what do you know what they look like? If it's a young Bigfoot, it's going to have normal looking feet until it gets old and they start going jagged or whatever people say they do. But I mean, like,
they may stay that way their whole lives. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Like,
the thing about them is that they walk the way you're supposed to walk. We walk wrong.
Yeah.
That's why they're so smooth and fluid, because they have the right body mechanics, and we don't. So who knows? They may not do damage to their feet like you would think they would because of the way that they maneuver through the woods. Who knows? Just another thought, right? Another theory.
And
we don't know.
That footage, though, that Tate's talking about, hopefully we'll be able to release that soon.
Oh, we'll see. I hope so.
Our friend's working on it, and it's good. It's a good one.
I hope so. Those guys were great, man. By the way, D'Angelo belongs in front of the camera.
Yeah,
he does, man. He just does. Like, he had his personality, and Gary was great too. But D'Angelo was like, man, he was like I don't know, he's lit up, man.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not the top to promote what we're doing on the back burner, but what we're doing on the back burner, you're gonna love it then.
Like, yeah. Good. All right. Yeah. All right. Good.
Yeah.
All right.
You'll love it.
So let me ask you guys, what if you had to pick one encounter or investigation or something that happened that you would say is your favorite, craziest night, whatever, what would it be, and what happened?
I mean, I guess I'll start. There was a time before our YouTube and before we really took cameras out every night, and we were doing it for Rex and his local stuff, and there, with all the cameras, we finally got them turned off, and actually the batteries had died because we used to stay out there, I mean, nonstop, and we got back to the cars, and this is how David got on that dumb show that I do not speak of that name of that show, because we really got discouraged whenever we found out that it was all just a big show pretty much. And this is how that, like, his encounter got, like, so dude, we're on our way back. It's two of our old team members, and they're no longer with the Squatch Watchers anymore. And dude, we get almost to the car, and then all of a sudden you hear, "Rah, rah, rah," like, I'm telling you, screams, like the most aggressive. And dude, David will tell you this story. This is what truly made me a believer there's something in these woods. And this was no bear roar, because a black bear around here, it's going to run off from you. It's not going to stand you like that. Yeah. And dude, this thing just lets it out, and I'm like, all of a sudden, so David normally finishes this story, and dude, that's the first time. I mean, you got to think, I'm 19 or 20 when this happens. And dude, that's the first time I've ever locked myself in the car with pure fear. And I told Tate, I said, I called him that night, and I made this reference the other night. I was like, dude, I really legit felt like Goofy and Max from a Goofy movie whenever that dang Bigfoot comes in and gets on the hood of their car and starts rocking it, dude. Like, dude, I was legit scared. And David's like, give me a lot. And dude, he sees the little silhouette, and that he saw his first sighting. I might be mixing two nights together, but the same thing happened another night. But all he could hear was like, I legit did it. We started the car, and we cracked the window that much, and I put my lips through it, and I'm like, David, get in the car, dude, get in the car. And dude, like, after that, like, it was legit history again.
Oh,
like
great.
That, I knew no matter what, I was like, there's something out here, and I want to know what it is. Is that Bigfoot still alive today? Heck, I don't know, but whatever that was aggressive, and dude, it was, oh my God, you talking about an adrenaline rush and literally being scared out of your life. Yeah,
that feeling. I know that feeling.
Dude,
No,
that was
yeah,
mine. Look,
dude.
I'll still laugh about it.
That's
Like,
that
I
fight or
legit
flight.
locked myself in the car.
Yeah, dude. It's man. Yeah, it's a deep scare, that's for sure. What do you got? Tell me yours. Let's go.
I got two.
All right.
The first one was my, I guess, first sighting, and it's the one where I talk about how I see the grayish black shoulders kind of move off and down into a ravine ridge type area. And then when we go back in daytime to investigate it, it's the Bigfoot underground, we call it. It's like a tunnel system of just all this brush and tree engineered stuff just junked up.
So cool.
I mean, you look in, there's a tunnel you can actually crawl through.
Yeah.
That one for me was like, oh yeah, there's something out here. He's actually seen it. And then the best part about it was what I saw added up to the physical surroundings when we went back and looked at it. So that was a really big moment for me. And then the second one, which I don't put them in order, this one I think is really good. We had a tree limb fall right in front of me, Taylor, and David one night, and it's on one of our videos. You can
We were
live
live that night. We were live.
We were rolling live, and there's two things about this that make me think it can't be coincidence. You have a live feed go out right when it happens, right when you start hearing the snapping of the tree bark, the live goes out. Luckily, we still have the camera on, which you see on the video, and then a tree branch I'm talking about big limb off of one of the big trees, the tall towering trees, falls off right in front of us and lands on the ground right in front of us. So it's like, how do you that's coincidence. That's like winning the lottery too. It's like, how does that happen? Because you don't just walk in the woods and all of a sudden tree limbs are just breaking and falling off right in front of you. I mean, it's like that old saying, does a tree make a sound when it falls in the woods? Well, that one did.
It falls right in front of you, it does.
Yeah.
That's exactly almost what happened to us Friday night. What I was telling you, I think at the beginning of this, before we went on.
Exactly. Like, okay, and here's the thing. Like, you can say that's Bigfoot activity, or you could call us the luckiest people on the planet, because within a span of a year and a half, we've had 2 pieces of tree in the property snapping and breaking and cracking around us. And
like Daniel Perez, don't know if you know him. We did a podcast with him the other night, and he made a good point. Like, he said something that really struck with me, because we're not the only ones in our area getting these Bigfoot sightings. There's people all around us getting them now. There's a guy named Doug Tate who gets them 8 miles down the road, and he's been on the History Channel, all that stuff. But
who's that?
Doug, his name's Doug Teague. And that backs us, and it's awesome. We love it because it's like, dude, we're not crazy. We're not the only ones crazy in this little town. Like, people are seeing it and hearing it. Like, there's a guy with the Get From Here stick who went completely viral, got made fun of on Jay Leno, who's literally 15 miles away from us, and that we've got proof that backs his story. The Squatch Watchers all started with a print that was found 1 week prior to Tim Peeler, freaking drunk Tim Peeler, calling the cops saying he's got long, pretty hair, and I just chased him off with a stick. You'll have to look it up, dude. His name's Tim.
Pretty hair, and he chased him off with a stick?
Yeah. He said, I had to get a stick, and I was telling him to get. And, dude, I mean, it was like, I believe him because, he was drunk when he caught it in, but people don't know behind the scenes, Rex found a print literally a week prior to, as a crow flies is what we call it around here, as a crow flies direct through the woods. A week prior, it led straight to the dude's property. There was a print. Yeah. And, dude, it's like, and then there's one that does mean to a bunch to me too, a sighting that really keeps me, is whenever my wife actually had the sighting with me in the car, and she's a believer now. Like, she turned from a skeptic to believing something. So that one sticks with me. But, dude, look up the Tim Peeler thing. We legit found a print a week prior. Well, we didn't. Rex did. And a week prior to that, and I don't think he's crazy like everyone says.
Well, man, again, it's just, there's so many. At what point is it that everybody else is crazy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
At what point does the preponderance of evidence build up, whether it be empirical, whether it be legends and myths and tales from years ago, or it's scientific data? Because there's DNA. 98% human, 2% primate, unknown primate. What's that? or Mark Zaski getting pictures of these things in Florida on a regular basis, and clear hairs in Florida. There ain't no polar bears in Florida, fellas.
No
Polar bears in Florida.
No, we added something to
at the zoo, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
we added
the zoo. Yeah,
you
added something to what?
We added a this little thing at the beginning of our. I've got heartburn. But the beginning of our lectures now, like whenever we go speak, like we're not like the normal. I tell you, I saw Bigfoot right here, and this is what happened, and and back in 1970, we heard one. Okay, we're not that top whenever we.
There's a camp that's exclusive to me and only a few of my buddies.
Yeah. And, dude, so we get up there and we like to have fun with people. Yeah, we'll tell a little bit of our stories, but we always hand out our cards also. And we're like, you want to see them? Go watch them. We're here to have fun at these cons. But me and Tate, like I come to this idea with Tate, and we hid an amount of money. So people in the future, you better look underneath your seats. We hide a piece. We hide either $5 up to $100, whatever we got in our pocket. We'll strap it to the bottom of one seat in the whole building. And we tell people, we're like, hey, who likes free money? They all raise their hand. We're like, what if we told you that there was $100 or X amount of money strapped to the bottom of one of these seats? Dude, you want to see the whole place start moving, flipping up chairs? They do. Look. And I got this. That was
great, Tate. That was great.
Yeah, I got this from church because somebody strapped a dollar bill, but everybody's looking for it. And Tate and I were like, okay, imagine if everyone in this building looked for Bigfoot the way you guys just look for that $5 bill. And imagine if all of these people in this world would look for Bigfoot instead of saying he's fake. And I think he would be here I think he would be proven by now. But you got to think, there's probably 1,000 Bigfoot researchers, if that, in the world. There's so many thousands and millions of acres of land. But imagine, honestly, if everyone looked for Bigfoot like they did that $5 bill in the world. Like, I'm telling you, people are like, there's never any pictures. Oh, there's plenty of pictures.
Plenty of pictures, man.
Believe it. And
there's plenty.
But I do give a shout out to Toby. I love David, but with Toby on the crew, you don't see me lock myself in the car no more. Toby, dude, he's a protector, dude. You just feel like you can take on the world with him in our crew, man. Like that's why I love that. I'm glad he's back.
He's got the intangibles, man. He's different.
Yeah.
You'll have to get him on here next time. Like,
real quick.
Were they mad, man? I felt so bad afterwards.
No, not at all.
They're easy going, man.
Dude, I said, look, dude, he's new. He don't want 4 people at once, because I get it, dude. We've done it before. We've done it with Wes.
It's a lot.
Yeah, we've done it with Wes, just Tate, David, and I. Luckily, Wes edits all of his before he puts it out, so it makes it easier. But we are all overlapping each other, and I get it, dude.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like I said, I made a short video just letting people know that you guys were coming on.
Yeah.
And in the video, I said, like, if they're watching, it's nothing personal, because if I talk to Dave, I would have said, okay, well, tell Taylor and Tate to sit this one out, and you and Toby come on, because I'm just not equipped for 4 people right now.
No, that's absolutely, that's understandable.
And you know who told me that was Kerry. He said, brother,
I remember you telling me.
He had a show and he had 4 people on plus himself. And he was like, he had messaged me afterwards, and I said, how'd you think the show went? And he was like, brother, it's tough. He said 3 or more is tough. And I was like, it just stuck. Stuck. So yeah, nothing against them. I like I said, I think all you guys are great, but whoever answered was coming on.
Yeah.
So is there anything you guys want to talk about? Anything that's happened recently that you guys want to share while you're here? I mean, man. I don't. I can ask questions, but if you got cool stuff that's happened that I don't know about, like, talk about it. Let me know.
Oh, what got you into Bigfoot, dude? Like, has anyone ever asked you, like, what made you want to do it and all that? Like, have you had
same as most everybody, like when I was a kid, we'd go to the library and I kind of had I was always drawn to the weird stuff, like the monster books, the Loch Ness Monster, aliens. Yeah, but I remember when I saw the first picture of Patty, and
Yeah.
I just remember looking, going like, just this, like the what
Yeah.
if that thing is real? Like that would be cool, you
Yeah.
know. It would be cool. And then there were so many, like when we were kids. I don't know how old you guys are. I'm 42.
I'm
But
30.
I'm
when I
30.
was a kid, okay, so I'm older than you, but when I was a kid, there was no shortage of Bigfoot stuff, right? There was Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
Disney did a Bigfoot movie with the girl from Full House, right? Which was one of my favorites when I was a kid. It was great. She got hurt. There was a hunter trying to catch the Bigfoots. She was hiking with her family. She fell and got hurt, and the Bigfoots took her in and helped her, which I thought was the coolest thing. I'm like, oh, they're good. They're good. I definitely want to, you know. And then, you know,
Yeah.
1994, that happened and changed everything.
Yeah.
Changed
Yeah.
everything, bro. That was it. And you know, people don't like to hear it. They don't want to believe you. They think you're nuts. Think you're crazy. But
Yeah.
you can't tell me nothing.
No.
You can't
No.
tell me nothing. I know.
Yeah. Trust. Yeah. We deal with that all the time. People from work. I mean, it's, you're crazy. Well, come on out. Nah. Well, hush then. Like,
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and listen, like you guys are Christians. I believe in God, right?
Yep.
So why is it so hard for you to believe in this? You can believe
Yep.
in a God you've never seen.
Yep.
Why is it so hard for you to believe in this?
Yep.
It's called faith. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Gary says all the time, he's like, I need to see it to believe it. I'm like, Gary, that's faith, bro. Like, you have to believe something if you can't
Yeah.
see it. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Hey,
faith by, not by sight.
guess
Yeah.
what? You know what I say to people who say that? I say, have you ever seen $1 million?
Yep. Exactly.
But it exists, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. What if I told you? Yeah. It's like, what if I told you there was something invisible, but it can knock down buildings if you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, that ain't true. Well, what's wind? It's
Yeah,
invisible, but it can knock
yeah,
down buildings. I mean,
yeah.
I thought
yeah.
you were
It's like,
starting a 30 for 30, Taylor.
what if I told you? Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's true.
one
Like,
big thing. My bad.
Um, there,
yeah.
there, what's his name? Oh my God, Survivor Man, Les Stroud.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I always love how he posed the question, right? So when people ask, do you believe it? Do you believe in Bigfoot? Do you think Bigfoot's real? When it's put that way, I think people, any skeptic or anyone who's on the fence, instantly goes, no, the Bigfoot,
Yeah.
no, Bigfoot's not real. You're crazy. But if you word it just a little differently, if you ask it like, do you think it's at all possible that in the forests of North America there could be an upright walking primate or hominid of some sort that's managed to stay mostly hidden from us for hundreds of years? It sounds a little bit more
Yeah.
plausible, scientific, right? It
Yeah.
sounds like, okay, scientifically it's a little bit more believable to some people. But I just think Bigfoot has like a stigma attached to it,
Yep.
you know. But we have a missing link anyway in our evolutionary chain, right? There's something missing in that. There always has been. So who's to say this isn't it? Or at least a part of it, there may be more to that chain missing than we know. Who knows?
The best part I love about this is if the three of us right now were to pick something, even if we made just something up to lie about, and we go start telling, those lies about whatever it is we're going to lie about, but we don't tell each other the details of what we're going to lie about it. If the three of us go and start lying about it to people around us, our story's not going to add up when you get back to tracing it all back to us. Like, they're not going to add up. When you look around the country and the world at Bigfoot encounters, sightings, audio, what have you, the stuff adds up. It doesn't, a lie will contradict itself. If all these people are lying, then their stories aren't going to match up. But you're like, oh, that happened to me, or I saw that, or whatever. Like, it adds up. It's not. That's when you can tell it's not a lie.
Right. And that's what Kerry talked about too. He's like, people are seeing the same thing, or at least very similar, right? And with the same characteristics and traits and behaviors. And not only that, but the the stuff around where these things are seen seems to be the same too. Structures and rock throwing and howls
Yep.
and whoops and tree knocks and all these things. It's all the same everywhere. They may look different, but all that stuff is the same, basically, no matter where you go.
Yep.
That's another question I wanted to ask you. What are your thoughts on the structures? What do you think those are about? Do you guys have them? Do you guys have a lot of them down there, or no?
We used to have a lot more. They're actually not around as much. Like they're still there, but we really
I don't think we look as much anymore like we used to.
with all this stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that they stand. Some of them could stand for like this is near water. This is food. This means stay out. This means this is your side. This is our side. We've always believed like if they're bent this way, pointing this way, your side is this side, their side is this side. And it's like. So we think that they mean the different things, but I don't really keep up with them as much. Like we see the X formations a lot still.
Yeah.
We do look for those, but because we used to find them all the time, and it's like, man, people are just like, so now it's like, let's back off, because dude, we would find them all the time. We were just like, okay, people might end up thinking we're like getting a little too carried away now, so we're like. Okay, we'll just stop looking for them for now. I mean, dude, we were finding them left and right. And some of the stuff we'll look at and we're like, okay, that's deadfall. We'll dismiss it. Yeah. We did have a really good experience on some footage that we haven't seen yet. We haven't got because for some reason it wasn't edited in our video. Not Tate, a different video. Dude, we legit had a tree structure, and every time you'd ask a question or something, it would start squeaking. Yeah. And dude,
get the heck out of here.
Dude, I swear on my life, I swear to you, God strike me dead. And I don't know why it wasn't edited in. It's like, we're going to make it deleted scenes. Deleted scenes of what? Like, we don't, like, yeah, we've got 20,000 followers. Y'all got 400, 500, but no one wants to watch deleted scenes. Put it all in there. Like, it's like, dude, and we took Toby on his first hunt back, and the tree structure was legit tore down and, like, twisted. Like
laying in the trail, middle of the trail.
And we don't have anything to refer it back to, so it's like we filmed it still and we talked about it. So we're gonna have to try to like tie it back in once we get that footage. And dude, I'm telling you, like this structure literally, you were like, and Gary's pure skeptic. He was with us and he was like, he was asking it questions. He was even intrigued. He was like, this is weird. And the only reason we know we even started asking questions because we stopped and we were like, so this tree wasn't bent over like this the last time. We were just telling them, and all of a sudden it went eat. Every time we talk, it would like, and we were like, Gary got carried away. He was like, okay, if something squeaked 3 times, eat. We're like, holy crap. Yeah, dude. Yeah. And then what was funny, a week later, legit TikTok. There was like a trend on TikTok where people were talking to these trees and the tree would like move toward them. I don't know if you saw that trend or not.
What?
I was like, dude, this is freaking awesome. But I was like, dude, we're not crazy. But dude, I was just like, this is wild. We were over there with a spirit box on the other side of the property asking questions and the tree started. I mean, it was freaking weird.
How often do you guys do the paranormal stuff? Do you do it more often than you show?
We do some stuff more often than we show. Like again on the like that's another like it's a back thing for me and Tate right now on a totally different project from the Squatch Watchers. But like if it does pan off, everybody will be able to see this soon. Like, but we're doing some thinking on that because is it at the end of the day is it going to be really really worth it for us if the whatever's not right that we got to sign.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, whether
you guys got a lot going on though behind the scenes right now. You got
a lot going on behind the scenes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I do wish we do talk about it sometimes, but we don't flaunt it like some people do.
I get it, man. I totally get it.
Yeah, because but no matter what, that footage will be released whether we get whatever's happening or not, and I cannot wait to get that paranormal stuff out of there because We've got an SLS camera. We've got the poultry pod. We've got the spirit boxes. We've got it all. Like,
oh wow,
we do this for the Squatch Watchers on the side, but we don't ever post them because people on our Squatch Watcher page just doesn't like it. I mean, we'll probably start posting it now because we're going to try to.
I mean, people like it, but there's not as big of appetite on our channel because we start out Bigfoot. And people want to see Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, we're still trying to post them. Yeah.
If we'd have started out both, people would have liked it. But even whenever we bring the spirit box out on our Bigfoot hunts, people they're like, "Hey, y'all shouldn't do that."
Well, I tell you what, our landowner Rex, he's basically forbidden ghost and paranormal investigation on the property because we've had such an intense response and evidence to that stuff that he just said we need to shut it down. And we obviously first thing first, we're gonna respect his wishes, and it's been so intense we had to shut it down.
There was almost 2 weeks ago no more. There would have still been Squatch Watchers, but there would have been no more of that property if because Rex, he was pissed. And I was in the clear. I wasn't on that investigation. It was all Tate.
And it was just happening
I didn't know about it.
And it was just happening all the time. Like you guys left, and it would just continue.
Well, see, it's there, but he doesn't want to provoke it, which I get, and we obviously respect his wishes.
Yeah, sure.
But we inadvertently done something that I didn't know about, and he just said, "Hey, let's please don't do no more because we don't
my
want
family's mad."
We don't want stuff letting loose on us. I was like, I totally get it.
It all started though. There was a flood. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've always thought the property was haunted, and there's certain locations on the property. Like there's a house on the property that's 100% haunted, like Rex will tell you. But there was a flood, and if you always hear David in our videos, like, "Man, I tell you what, it ain't been like this since the flood." And me and Tate always laugh. We're like, "I thought, are you talking about Noah or what, bro? Like, you talking about the Ark flood or what?" Nobody knows what flood you're talking about, but there was a flood that happened here about 2 years ago on our primary hunt spot. David always refers to the Henry River. If you live in Boston or New York, you don't know what the Henry River is. But the Henry River runs parallel with our hunt. Love David to death, but there's a flood. It washed everything on our primary hunt spot. Rex takes his excavator down there, trying to clear back out some of our trails, uncovers an Indian burial ground. Legit. Has the bones. He buries them back. Puts rocks over top of them, and I crap you not, dude. Gary and Dee, we caught the tail end of it on that hunt where they came the Bigfoot hunt, and you could hear boom, 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 boom. Dude, you could hear the drums and the chants, and I've always heard stories of this, but I've never realized it. And I'm like, holy,
that's creepy,
crap,
man,
dude. So once you go back over to across the river, we go over there, and you hear people on the way other side of the property partying. And so Gary's like, "Oh, that's what we heard. It was these people partying."
It was closer than that, though.
Nah, it was legit. The wind started blowing really bad too, and I was like, "Holy shit! This is, dude. Like, what the crap is going on?" Like, it was wild. That was wild.
So, that Indian burial ground stuff is
I've always heard the stories. I've always heard the stories, but I'm like, that can't be, dude. It's legit.
It's legit, man. It's legit. I mean, think about it. Who here on this planet is more connected to the energies and the earth than the Native Americans, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean. And to desecrate wherever they put their people, that's some bad juju, some bad energy getting stirred up there. What else did I want to ask you? Hold on, let me just check real quick. I did write some notes down. I'm a little professional sometimes. Oh yeah, okay. What are your thoughts on population numbers?
You went out. Me. Are you talking globally or just?
We'll go North America.
Okay, North America. Maybe 1,000.
I'm thinking 1,000.
Really?
I'm thinking 1,000. I would think.
Oh, I'm way higher.
You think so?
I'm way higher. Way higher.
What do you think? What's your number?
So me and Kerry had a long discussion about this, and my cat trying to take my earbuds. I think that there's got to be more. There's got to be way more than 1,000 because they're here. Okay, I'm in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Right, and they're here. Right. Yeah. This you would never think that, but they are.
Yeah.
And enough that it's regular, like fairly regular, and multiple places too, right? So if they're here, they're there. They're in Florida, they're in Mississippi, they're in Ohio, they're in California, they're
Texas.
1,000. There's got to be more, man. There's got to be more, and people are seeing multiples all the time, and I believe that they move in a family troop, in a family pack. There's always more than one. The whole it was the deer. How many deer are there?
Yeah.
I think it was like 300 million deer in the United States or something. And so if it was one Sasquatch to every million deer. That was the theory, right?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, there's a lot of these things.
See,
it's just a theory. It's just a theory.
I've heard before, like
that makes sense.
There's like 15 to 30,000 of them and stuff like that. But yeah, I would believe that because people like you don't see deer every day, and there's millions.
Right.
We don't see bear every day, and there's hundreds and thousands, probably millions of bear. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I mean,
and that's the other thing too.
I just don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't. I don't know. I'm just saying this is what I think because if they're in even Rhode Island's right next door, tiny state in the Union, little tiny Rhode Island, right? And people don't realize when they think of Rhode Island, they think, oh, Rhode Island's beaches and all that stuff. And yeah, it does have beaches and that stuff. But Rhode Island is covered in mostly forested area.
Yeah,
and we're talking thick, deep forest, and I think this area gets written off quite a bit when you're talking about this subject, because there are places that probably have more sightings, and I think too that the attitude here is a problem. I think that if you hear I'm sure being down south, they talk about how rude us Northerners are and how snobby. I promise you, it's not a lie. There are a ton of snobs and a ton of rude people up here, and people who and there's kind of this attitude of always being worried about what everybody thinks about you up here in a lot of places. So when you have that attitude, people aren't going to talk about it. They're not going to say it because they're afraid that their neighbor, Dr. Whatever, Dr. Frank is going to be like, oh my God, our neighbors are kooks, like talking about 9 foot tall apes in their backyard. But I got the Mashantucket Pequot land is only 15 minutes from me, 20 minutes from me. The Mohegan tribe land is only 15 minutes from me. This is all reservation land. This is old land, and it's got a lot of what they need. And I just think that people kind of write this area off. So I mean, if they're here, they're everywhere, and to be everywhere, I just think there's got to be more, man. There's got to be more. Canada alone, there's got to be just those forests up there are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You hear the reports coming out of places like Nordegg and Vancouver Island. They've been doing that for how long? Forever.
Yeah.
So it just goes back so far. I don't want to keep you guys too long. I usually like to keep it to about an hour and a half. We talked about my cat is on my lap and he keeps trying to take my earbuds and play with them. Stop it. We talked about people's attention spans. It's hard getting people to watch a 2-hour show. But I do want to play a little game. Okay. We'll see how well your Bigfoot knowledge. Okay. I got some questions. All right.
before this game starts, we
Yes.
really don't, besides Carrie, Sasquatch Chronicle, and maybe one or two, we really don't watch other researchers. So we'll be going
This
off.
has nothing to do with them.
Okay.
This has
Okay.
nothing to do with other
Okay.
researchers. This is Bigfoot history.
Okay.
Okay. What was the name of the man who claimed that Patty was a hoax and he wore the costume?
God, what was his name? I saw a picture of him the other day.
Yeah.
He's got the eyeliner on. The suit looks nothing like the Patty suit.
No, it's so bad, dude.
Dude, I'm terrible with names, but I'm great
So
with names.
bad.
I don't have a phone with me.
We talked about this a while back, Taylor.
Yeah. We actually did a whole story on it, you and I, because the guy who apparently sold the suit moved to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah.
The whole history lesson. God,
We just talking like it's a movie quality suit.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you, but
I don't know either.
Bob Hieronymus.
Bob. Okay. Yeah, I would have never got that. Dude, I'm terrible with trivia.
What's the name of the Chinese version of Bigfoot?
So you got Yowie, you got Yeti, you got the Slant-Eyed Giant, you got... Dude, I have no clue.
You were right there, man. You were right on it.
Yeah, go back a little bit.
You got Yowie, the Slant-Eyed Giant. Dude, I have no clue. Tate, you gonna help
Begins
out?
with a Y. Begins with a Y.
Yoda? I have no clue. Nah, dude, I don't know.
Yeren.
Yaren, nice. Dude, I'll
Yeren.
tell you, we know Bigfoot. Dude, I'm gonna fail this.
If you don't get this one, you're disqualified from Bigfooting ever again. Okay.
1966.
Who's the head of the anthropology department at Idaho State University and renowned for his studies of foot morphology of reported Sasquatch track casts?
Meldrum.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
That guy's amazing, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Him and Bindernagel. To be the two real first academics.
Yep.
To really take a stand and go, I don't care what everyone else thinks about me. This is real. There's tangible evidence. This is real. There's something here. Like, it took balls.
Yeah.
It took balls because guys, they usually get shunned. They get pushed out of the scientific community and academic community. He could have lost his job. Like, you know what I mean? It took guts. Dr. Meldrum, if someone out there knows Jeff Meldrum too, please, I would love to interview that man.
Yeah.
I would love to interview that guy. I read his book, man. Awesome. I only read it like 2 weeks ago, but
Hey, is Meldrum in that documentary that we're doing the 13th or no?
You're doing a documentary?
Yeah. Now we can talk about that because
he wants us to promote it.
Yeah. So
What is it? What do you got?
New Bigfoot documentary coming out called I Believe in Bigfoot. They're actually coming here to film in 2 weeks. There's a special guest coming. If you watch the trailer, you may see the special guest. We're not going to tell who it is yet because just watch the trailer. You might see who it is. So I will promote that because that helps out the Bigfoot community. There's a new Bigfoot documentary coming, and they're filming. They're going to be here for a couple weeks and filming with us. And dude, people want it. They want to come see because dude, at every con we've been to, we've got people begging, wanting to pay to come on a Bigfoot hunt with us, like the Squatchers.
I would.
Yeah, just to experience what the Squatch Watchers experience now. There's a legit guy, his documentary crew, and a really world-renowned Sasquatch Bigfoot investigator coming on.
Oh yeah, one of the biggest.
That Tate and I had actually had a chance to do a Skype interview with, and he's going to be here, and we're going out with him for 2 weeks.
Oh man,
weeks straight, and they're going on our land. We're going out there, and we're going to.
The film's called "I Believe in Bigfoot."
Yeah.
I believe in Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Is there's a website?
Well, there's a Facebook page and a trailer out right now.
Yeah, he's getting some stuff ready to launch.
You'll see David in the interview right now. Like David's in the trailer, but so once they come film, we'll start because we told them this is just how Tate and I are. We'll promote something for you as long as all the Squatch Watchers are in it. You know what I'm saying? Like for you, dude, we'll help no matter what. But for something like that, unless the whole Squatch Watchers in it.
Well, that's
we're
business.
gonna promote it.
That's different.
That's our business. Like,
Yeah.
and so and then I've got to call Kelly and actually tell him, like, so every time he introduces our name in the movie or the documentary, we just want the Squatch Watchers YouTube channel on the bottom. That's all we ask for, like, because it's all about spreading who we are. Because, like I said, we do this for people that aren't able to get out there, and we do it for our fun also. But that's our number one. You wouldn't believe the people that came up, like, could barely walk at Tennessee, and they're like, we just love y'all's videos. It's like we're exactly right there on the hunt with you. And we're like, that's why we do it.
Yeah, that's the feeling. That's the feeling you get. And
that's the biggest mission behind our YouTube channel is we do it for the ones who can't. And it don't mean you have to have physical disabilities. That's one part of the aspect. But the other side of the spectrum is, Taylor, David, Toby, and I, we've been blessed with, first of all, the health to go out and do it, the money and means to go out and do it. We have befriended a very great man who has the property that has the activity to do it on. I mean, all the stars align for us. So if we're blessed, we need to, pass out the blessings to everybody else. That's why we do the channel we do, because, just because you may have physical disabilities, the other side is you may not have the location or land or whatever the means to go do it.
Yeah.
But
and the money,
that's why you watch us.
The money that we do make off of our YouTube channel, it legit pays for our hotel rooms on these cons and a lot of these bands that we throw out and give away to people for free. We give away pictures. We give away, Tate and I'll get shirts, like a certain style of shirts that we give away. We're just all about giving. Like,
and this is what I was talking about too, because I know there's some people don't like when people monetize in this genre because they feel like you're just doing it for the money. But what my whole thing was, I said, what some people may not understand is that most people who do this are regular Joes. They make regular Joe money, and they have regular Joe families and bills and all those things. So when you're going out into the field, you're traveling, you're using gas, right? You're staying in places to do the cons to see your subscribers. That takes money. You need equipment, right? And we all know that equipment it can break, or it just goes every year or two. Like it's bad now. All of a sudden you had something 2 years ago that was great, and now there's like something that's way better. And then again, giving back. You can take some of that stuff to give back to these people by running raffles or giveaways or those type of things. So it's beneficial if people think about it the right way. Yeah. But there are people who are doing it the total wrong way.
I mean, I'm good friends with a couple of them that are like that. I'd never, what I'm saying? That's just, hey, that's them. That's what but people can tell.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we don't, our monetization on our channel, we don't make bukus of money, but we also never cut a check out, any of us, for our personal gain. Like, it's all been for the team, for getting us to point A to point B, buying tech, buying stuff to give away, whatever it is. Yeah, whatever business expenses the Squatch Watchers have, that's what that money's for.
We don't invest that money into making money. So when David sells his shirts, he uses his own money and his own, but we'll use the Squatch Watcher money to pay for our meals maybe one night, pay for some rooms, buy our new tech, like our cameras, our new laptops.
All stuff that goes back into the channel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow, man, it's this has been. Oh, I'm not done with my questions. You guys kind of sneaked me on that one. I'm not done. You're not getting out of here without finishing these.
At least I got one right.
You got one. There's only two more. Okay. The word Sasquatch, and this is a multiple choice, so you got a decent chance. The word Sasquatch originated from the folklore of which Native American group? The Tillamook, Choctaw, or the Coast Salish?
Dude, I thought it was the Cherokee.
I'm gonna go B.
You said B? Choctaw? Mm-hmm. No. Nope.
Oh, I was going to go A, honestly, but
you're both wrong. It was the, I don't even know if, listen, I didn't know this. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this even right. Coast Salish. I don't know how to pronounce it. All right, here's the last one. You ready?
Yeah.
If you fail this, I lose all faith in you.
Okay, it's the date of the sighting.
Name the man whose 1955 Sasquatch sighting is considered the first on modern record. William Rowe, William Shatner, or Will I Am?
It's William Rowe.
yeah.
I was like, hey, William Shatner.
I've seen a Bigfoot.
Okay, here's your one. I got one for you.
All
what
right, good.
president had a Bigfoot encounter?
Roosevelt.
Hey, there you go.
Which Roosevelt?
Theodore.
Yeah.
Nice.
He wrote about it.
Yeah,
right.
He
wrote
did.
about it.
Yeah.
Didn't he have more than one, or maybe someone at his hunting party had a?
Yeah.
So, one of them got drug off or something.
Yeah. Yes.
At a campsite. Yeah, they were camping when they were the Rough Riders, and one of them
Dude,
got drug
I
out
wish
of
they would make like a movie about that. Like a
Right.
I'd watch that.
That'd be
That'd be a
freaking
cool
cool.
movie.
Have you ever heard? And if you're a fan of like listening to podcasts about encounters, you probably have. Have you ever heard the story about there was a gentleman who was a police officer in like Florida or something, like back in like the 60s or 70s, and they went to a insane asylum there. It was like they brought like 4 or 5 of these cops to the insane asylum for something. I don't remember what it was for. While they were there, one of the guards says, "I'm going to show you something. I'm not supposed to do this. You can't." They made him sign what is that called? A non-disclosure agreement.
Yep.
NDA. Made him sign an NDA. Right. I think there was 4 or 5 of them. They bring him back into this area, and there's like a nurse's station, right? And behind the nurse's station is like a prison cell, big, huge bars. But they could tell that it wasn't there initially, that they must have made this thing like for a specific reason there. But they couldn't see behind this nurse's station. So the guard was like, I'm going to take you up. I'm going to take you up 2 at a time. But there were women. So no, it must have been more than 4. Because there was 4 guys and there was 2 women. So it was 6 of them. I'm going to take you up 2 at a time, but the women can't come up. And so the women were like, well, why can't we come up? And he was like, because what's up there is too horrific for you to see. And they said, if the guys are going up, we're going up. And they argued, and the guard was like, okay. So what happened was he brought the first 2 guys up, and this guy, this police officer who was telling the story, was one of them. So when he got up there, there was something. It was a big cell. There was a bed on the left-hand side, and all he could see was the back of this thing. It was not sitting. It was on its feet, but as low as you could go, like its butt was touching the bed. You know what I'm saying? So its knees were bent as low as it could go, and it was kind of standing there, really crouched down low. And he said, was covered with hair. He said, and the smell was awful. He said, but what I noticed first was this thing was big, like big from shoulder to shoulder. It was wide, and there was chicken wire all wrapped through the cell bars so that this thing couldn't reach its hand out and grab a guard or something. So the guy got up there, and they said that this was the product of bestiality.
Oh, wow.
A woman had mated with a monkey or something of that sort. And that's what this thing was. Now, obviously, bestiality can't happen. It's impossible scientifically. Chromosomes don't line up. So we can't have babies with monkeys and blah, 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 even though we're closely related.
Yeah.
Back then, these are the things that people bought into, right? They would tell people this kind of stuff to write off what this really was. And that's what happened. But anyway, so the guy is at the thing, and he's talking to this thing, and he's saying, hey, turn around, bud. Hey, turn around. And the thing kind of looked over his shoulder briefly, and then he turned back, but he didn't pay him any mind. Well, the girls got brought up next. He said, we weren't standing as far back now. Once we had seen it, he moved us back, but we could still see what was going on. So the girls get brought up next. He said, as soon as the girls got within 2 feet of that cage, the thing on the bed spun around in one full swoop, leaped off the bed, landed on the cage with his hands like this and his feet up against it, and started shaking it violently and screaming like a monkey, and was going nuts. And he said, and he had a full-blown erection.
Oh,
Listen, one of the girls, you talked about this, one of the girls was in menses. She had her period.
Yeah.
So he said the girls freaked out. They left. They were crying. He said the other guys were, totally like, they were shocked. They were grossed out. They didn't know what was going on. He said, but I wanted to see this thing. And he said, I got close to that cage. He said, and he goes, what I saw in there, man, I've never seen nothing like it before in my life. I've never seen nothing like it again. He goes, but I can only imagine that it's what we call Bigfoot. He said the thing was, and they told him it was a child. It was a juvenile. And he said it stood about 6'8". He said it had to have weighed in excess of 450 to 500 pounds. He said it wasn't as heavily muscled as like some of the reports. He goes, but if it was a juvenile, then maybe it would get bigger. He said, but the shoulders on the thing were so wide. He said, I looked at the guy at the nurse's desk, and I said, you really think that those bars are going to hold him, if that's a juvenile, much longer? And the guy said, I don't know. I don't think so, but it's my post. What am I supposed to do?
Oh my God.
But so anyway, so here's the crazier part. There was a report from, I forget what town it was in Florida, of them finding this baby monkey thing, right? It was a small monkey child thing. Years before this happened, the baby got brought to like a hospital or something, and then disappeared. All records of it disappeared. But yeah, this guy said that they had this thing in an insane asylum in Florida, locked up, basically like underground, hidden, until the government would come and decide to take it away, I guess. But
that is crazy,
bro.
That's
crazy.
wild.
I forget what show it was that I heard it on, but I'm not doing any justice. When this guy tells the story, like, he paints such a picture that I had goosebumps when I was watching or when I was listening.
Sounds like he voided his NDA.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he sure did. He sure did. But it's been so long, you know what I mean? It's been 30 some odd years. Yeah. He figured they're all dead who worked there probably, or in old folks' homes, and if the government still wants him, he said, I've lived a good life, basically. So okay.
That's crazy.
I like to sing that. That'd been wild.
Yeah, bro. Weird, man. So nuts. But anyway, yeah. So listen, that was this is awesome. I had a great time. I think this is a really good episode. I would love to have Dave and Toby on at some point, but I definitely down the road would love to have you guys back on. I still think we got stuff that we can talk about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then so Tate and I are actually going to branch. I'll do a little branch of our own type of podcast for the Squatch Watchers, but it's not going to be like a live one like this. We're going to film it more of like a different style. So we would basically FaceTime you on a phone, and there would be like, we'd film the thing and we'd kind of put it together as like a Joe Rogan type thing. And
I love it.
But yeah, dude, and So it wouldn't be live, but people could comment on underneath that. But yeah, dude, we're thinking about doing something like that, just something new for our channel. And dude, we'd love to have you on there, man. And
dude, I'll come on anytime.
Yeah, like it wouldn't be like a kind of like an interview. It's just we're on there and we're talking, and you tell us about your experiences. We tell you about ours, and pretty much roll with it, dude. Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
I'm definitely down whenever you guys want, man. I feel I'd be honored to. Really, I'd be honored to.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I fanboyed out for a minute when I saw the comment. I can't even pretend I did. I fanboyed out for a minute. I said, all right, compose yourself. Don't look like a punk. Like you're a grown man. Pull it together.
No, man. No.
But I'm a fan, man. Aren't we all in the isn't that where it starts from? We're fans of the topic and the people who do stuff in it.
Yeah.
But so yeah, guys, I appreciate you coming on.
Dude,
absolutely, appreciate you.
We've been on some podcasts where it's draining, but dude, you kept it going. You're set for it.
You got it.
Yeah, dude, you're perfect.
Well,
you keep it fun. You keep it good. You keep the topics like that. It's not just no awkward silences. And dude, you got it. It's gonna be fun.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. It means a lot.
Keep doing your thing.
That means a lot, guys. That really does. So yeah, we'll do this again. I'll come on whenever. I'm gonna message you guys when we're done here.
Okay.
I last time I ended this live, I know that you can end it and we can stay here. When I hit the end button, for some reason, everyone just went by last time. Okay. So if that happens, I apologize in advance. But I'm gonna message you. And I'm going to give you some other info so that, if you guys want to contact me, you got it.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. So listen to everybody in the chat who's here live. Like, thank you so much. You guys are the blood of this channel. You keep it going. I can't tell you enough how much it means to me. The comments, the emails, like all of it. And again, the email, I put my email always in the description of every video. If you guys need to reach out, you need to talk, you got an encounter you want to share, or if there's somebody on here that you want to get in contact with or something, like this is all what we try to do here is we try to help the next person out and educate and bring awareness. That's what it's all about. So if I can help you, let me know. And I'm sure these guys are probably in the same boat. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Please be safe. If you're in Florida, we're praying for you. Sending love, light, and nothing but positive energy. Hope you get out of this thing soon and safe. All right, guys. You have a good night.
You too, buddy. See y'all. Keep watching.
Later, guys.
See ya.